Before we start, let me tell you what's coming in the next 20 minutes. You're about to discover why your New Year's resolutions fail every single year, and more importantly, how to fix it. We're diving deep into Atomic Habits by James Clear, the book that sold over 15 million copies worldwide. You'll learn why tiny changes lead to massive results, the exact four-step system to build any habit you want, how to break bad habits without willpower, real strategies you can use starting today. This isn't just a summary. This is your complete guide to becoming 1% better every single day. So grab your notebook, turn off distractions, and let's transform your life together. Let's begin. January 1st. You're pumped. You're motivated. This is your year. You join a gym. You buy healthy food. You promise yourself, this time it's different. January 15th. The gym membership, untouched. The healthy food, expired in your fridge. The motivation, gone. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. It's not your fault. You weren't lazy. You weren't weak. You just didn't understand how habits actually work. What if I told you that success isn't about massive overnight changes? What if getting in shape, building a business, or learning a new skill wasn't about motivation at all? What if it was just about getting 1% better every single day? That's the power of Atomic Habits. Today, we're breaking down James Clear's masterpiece, Atomic Habits. This book has changed millions of lives. Why? Because it reveals the simple science of building good habits and breaking bad ones. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand this book in depth, but also learn how to apply it in your life starting today. We're not just doing a summary. We're giving you a complete system to transform yourself, one tiny habit at a time. Ready? Let's dive in. Big idea overview. Here's the big idea. Small changes seem like they don't matter, but over time, they compound into remarkable results. Think about it like this. Imagine you have an ice cube sitting on a table. The room is cold, 25 degrees. Nothing happens. The temperature rises to 26 degrees. Still nothing. 27 degrees. The ice just sits there. 28 degrees. Nothing. 29 degrees. Still frozen. 30 degrees. Nothing. Then 32 degrees. Suddenly, the ice starts melting. The change happens in an instant, but it wasn't the final degree that did it. It was all the degrees before that built up the energy. That's how habits work. You work out for a week, nothing happens. You read for a month, you still feel the same. You save money for 3 months, you're still broke. So you quit. But here's what you don't see. All that work is building up. It's not wasted, it's stored. And one day, breakthrough happens. James Clear calls this the plateau of latent potential. Most people quit in the valley of disappointment, right before results show up. Let me give you a real example. Imagine two friends, Sarah and Mike. Both want to lose weight. Sarah loses 1 pound per week. Doesn't seem like much, right? Mike wants faster results, so he tries crash diets. He loses 10 pounds in week 1, but can't sustain it. He quits. After 1 year, Sarah has lost 52 pounds. Mike? He's back where he started. Small changes, consistently applied, beat big changes that you can't maintain. The book's core message is simple. Forget about goals. Focus on systems. Goals are about the results you want. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Now let's break down exactly how to build those systems. The fundamentals. Why tiny changes make a big difference. Let's start with the math of habits. If you get 1% better every day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. You end up 37 times better. Why? Because of compounding. 1% improvement isn't just addition, it's multiplication. Here's what that looks like. 1% better every day equals 37 times better in a year. 1% worse every day equals nearly 0 in a year. Think about a plane taking off from Los Angeles to New York. If the pilot adjusts the heading by just 3.5 degrees south, the plane doesn't land in New York. It lands in Washington, D.C., 225 miles away. That's the power of tiny adjustments. British cycling was terrible for decades. They hadn't won a single Tour de France in 110 years. Then they hired Dave Brailsford. He introduced a concept: the aggregation of marginal gains. He made tiny improvements everywhere. Redesigned bike seats for comfort, 1% improvement. Rubbed alcohol on tires for better grip, 1% improvement. Tested different fabrics in wind tunnels, 1% improvement. Even taught riders the best way to wash their hands to avoid sickness, 1% improvement. Hundreds of tiny 1% improvements. 5 years later, they dominated the Tour de France. They won 178 world championships and 66 Olympic medals. 5 years later, they dominated the Tour de France. They won 178 world championships and 66 Olympic medals. Not because of one big thing, because of hundreds of small things. Actionable takeaway: stop looking for the one big thing that will change everything. Start looking for tiny improvements everywhere in your life. The 4 laws of behavior change. James Clear gives us a simple framework for building good habits and breaking bad ones. Every habit follows a 4-step pattern: cue, trigger, craving, desire, response, action, reward, benefit. Think about checking your phone. Cue, you hear a notification. Craving, you want to know who messaged you. Response, you grab your phone. Reward, you satisfy your curiosity. That's the habit loop. Now here's the magic. We can hack this loop. To build a good habit, use the 4 laws. Make it obvious, cue. Make it attractive, craving. Make it easy, response. Make it satisfying, reward. To break a bad habit, invert them. Make it invisible. Make it unattractive. Make it difficult. Make it unsatisfying. Let's break down each law with real examples. The first law: make it obvious you can't change what you don't notice. Most of our habits are automatic. We do them without thinking. That's the problem. The first step is awareness. James Clear suggests the habit scorecard, a simple list of your daily habits. Write down everything you do from when you wake up until you sleep. Then mark each habit: positive, negative, neutral. Wake up, check phone, brush teeth, drink coffee, scroll Instagram. Work out, no judgment, just awareness. Once you're aware, you can use a powerful strategy called implementation intention. Instead of saying, "I will exercise more," say, "I will exercise for 20 minutes at 7 a.m. in my living room." Be specific about when you'll do it, where you'll do it. Studies show this increases your chances of success by 2 to 3 times. Story, example. A study tracked people who wanted to exercise more. One group just said, "I want to exercise." Another group wrote, "I will exercise on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. at my local gym." The second group had a 91% success rate. The first group, only 35%. Another powerful technique: habit stacking. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. Examples: after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 2 minutes. After I sit down for dinner, I will say one thing I'm grateful for. After I close my laptop at work, I will do 10 push-ups. You're linking the new habit to something you already do automatically. Environment design. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you think. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow. Want to drink more water? Fill bottles and place them everywhere. Want to eat healthier? Put fruits at eye level in your fridge. Make the cues obvious, and the habits will follow. Actionable takeaway. Create an implementation intention for one habit you want to build. Write it down. I will behavior at time in location. The second law: make it attractive. We do things we enjoy. We avoid things we don't. So how do you make good habits attractive? Use a strategy called temptation bundling. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Examples: Only watch Netflix while exercising on the treadmill. Only listen to your favorite podcast while doing chores. Only get a massage after completing a work project. You create a dopamine spike that makes you crave the habit. Another strategy. Join a tribe where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. Humans are social creatures. We copy the people around us. Want to read more? Join a book club. Want to get fit? Work out with friends who are already fit. Want to build a business? Surround yourself with entrepreneurs. Story time. A man wanted to quit smoking. He tried everything, patches, gum, willpower, nothing worked. Finally, he joined a running club. Nobody in the club smoked. Within months, he quit. Why? Because smoking didn't fit his new identity as a runner. Your habits are shaped by the people around you. Here's a powerful reframe. Change. Have to get to. I have to wake up early. I get to wake up early and have quiet time. I have to work out. I get to build a strong body. I have to study. I get to learn and grow. Language shapes how we feel about our habits. Actionable takeaway. Pair one habit you need to do with something you love. Make it a rule. You only get the reward after you complete the habit. The third law. Make it easy. Here's the truth. Motivation is overrated. What matters is action. The best habit is the one you'll actually do. James Clear introduces the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes. Want to read more? Don't commit to reading 30 minutes. Commit to reading 1 page. Want to exercise? Don't plan a 1-hour workout. Commit to putting on your gym shoes. Want to meditate? Don't aim for 20 minutes. Just sit down and take 3 breaths. Why does this work? Because starting is the hardest part. Once you start, you usually continue. You put on gym shoes, and suddenly you're doing a full workout. You read 1 page, and suddenly you've read a chapter. You take 3 breaths, and suddenly you've meditated for 10 minutes. The Goldilocks rule. Habits need to be not too hard, not too easy, just right. If a habit is too hard, you'll give up. If it's too easy, you'll get bored. You need to work at the edge of your ability, about 4% beyond your current level. Environment design, part 2. Want to break a bad habit? Make it difficult. Want to stop watching too much TV? Unplug it after each use. Want to stop eating junk food? Don't buy it. If it's not in your house, you can't eat it. Want to stop scrolling social media? Delete the apps from your phone. Story. Example. A writer wanted to focus more, so he used an app that blocked the internet on his computer for 2 hours every morning. At first, it was hard, but after a few days, his productivity skyrocketed. He made distraction difficult and focus became easy. Actionable takeaway. Use the 2-minute rule. Pick one habit and scale it down to something you can do in 2 minutes or less. Start there. The fourth law. Make it satisfying. We repeat behaviors that feel rewarding, but here's the problem. Most good habits feel good in the long term, not immediately. Working out today doesn't make you fit today. Saving $10 doesn't make you rich today. Eating healthy one meal doesn't make you lean today. That's why it's hard. So we need to add immediate rewards. Habit tracking. One of the most powerful tools is simple. Track your habits. Get a calendar. Every day you do the habit, put an X. After a few days, you'll have a chain. Your only job is, don't break the chain. Why does this work? Because seeing progress is rewarding. It feels good to put that X on the calendar. Jerry Seinfeld used this method to write jokes every day. He called it, don't break the chain. The paperclip strategy. A salesperson wanted to make 100 calls per day. So he put 100 paperclips in a jar on his left. Every time he made a call, he moved 1 clip to a jar on his right. He could see his progress. It felt satisfying. He hit his goal every day. Never miss twice. You'll mess up. That's okay. Life happens. But here's the rule. Never miss twice. Miss one workout? No problem. Just don't miss the next one. Eat junk food one day? Fine. Don't do it again tomorrow. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Story time. A man was trying to build a reading habit. He read every night for 30 days straight. Then he had a crazy day at work and fell asleep without reading. He felt terrible. But he remembered. Never miss twice. The next night, he read. He kept the streak alive, mentally. 3 years later, he'd read over 100 books. One bad day didn't ruin everything, because he didn't let it turn into 2. Actionable takeaway. Start a habit tracker today, get a calendar or journal, pick one habit, track it daily, don't break the chain. Identity-based habits, the deepest level of change. Here's where the magic happens. Most people focus on what they want, outcomes. Some people focus on how to get it, processes. But the most successful people focus on who they want to become, identity. There are 3 levels of change. Level 1, outcome-based, what you want. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to publish a book. Level 2, process-based, how you'll do it. I'll go to the gym 3 times per week. I'll write 1,000 words per day. Level 3, identity-based, who you want to be. I am a healthy person. I am a writer. Identity is the deepest level. When your habits align with your identity, change becomes easy. Think about it. 2 people are offered a cigarette. Person 1 says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." Person 2 says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Who do you think is more likely to stay smoke-free? Person 2. Because it's part of who they are, not just what they're trying to do. How to build a new identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. You don't need to be perfect. You just need 51% of the votes. Want to become a writer? Write 100 words. You just voted for writer. Want to become fit? Work out for 10 minutes. You just voted for fit person. Want to become a reader? Read 1 page. You just voted for reader. Story example. A woman wanted to lose weight. She'd tried every diet. Nothing stuck. Then she shifted her identity. Instead of, "I'm trying to lose weight," she said, "I am a healthy person." When friends offered dessert, she didn't say, "I can't." She said, "I don't eat that. I'm a healthy person." The weight came off naturally because her actions now matched her identity. Actionable takeaway. Decide who you want to become. Write it down. I am a type D person. Then act like that person would act. 1 small step at a time. Action steps. Okay, let's make this super practical. Here are 10 action steps you can start right now. Action step 1. Complete your habits. Scorecard. Tonight, write down every habit you do in a typical day. Mark each one, positive, negative, or neutral. Just become aware. That's the first step. Action step 2. Pick one habit to build. Don't try to change everything. Pick one habit, just one. What's the one habit that would make the biggest difference in your life right now? Action step 3. Use implementation intention. Write down when and where you'll do your new habit. Be specific. Example, I will exercise for 15 minutes at 6:30 a.m. in my living room. Action step 4. Make it tiny, 2-minute rule. Scale your habit down to something you can do in 2 minutes or less. Want to read? Read 1 page. Want to meditate? Take 3 breaths. Want to journal? Write 1 sentence. Action step 5. Stack it. Link your new habit to something you already do automatically. Formula. After I current habit, I will new habit. Example. After I brush my teeth, I will do 10 push-ups. Action step 6. Design your environment. Make the cues for good habits obvious. Make the cues for bad habits invisible. Want to eat fruit? Put it on the counter. Want to stop eating cookies? Don't buy them. Want to read? Put a book on your pillow. Action. Step 7. Create a habit tracker. Get a calendar or journal. Every day you do your habit, mark an X. Your goal, don't break the chain. Action step 8. Bundle temptation. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Only watch your favorite show while folding laundry. Action Step 9. Join a tribe. Find people who already do the habit you want to build. Join them. Be around them. You'll naturally adopt their behaviors. Action. Step 10. Define your identity. Write down, I am a duck person. Then every day, cast small votes for that identity through your actions. Now let me share some hidden gems from the book that most people miss. Insight number 1. The plateau of latent potential success is delayed. Results compound slowly, then all at once. Bamboo trees spend 5 years building roots underground. You see nothing. Then in year 6, they grow 90 feet in 6 weeks. Your habits are building roots. Keep going. The breakthrough is coming. Insight number 2. Habits are automatic solutions to recurring problems. Your brain is always looking for ways to save energy. Every habit is your brain's way of solving a problem with less effort. This is why habits are so powerful and why they're so hard to break once formed. Insight number 3. The Goldilocks rule for motivation. You stay motivated when tasks are right at the edge of your ability. Not too hard, not too easy. This is why video games are addictive. They constantly adjust difficulty to keep you in the sweet spot. Design your habits the same way. Always work just beyond your current level. Insight number 4. The difference between professionals and amateurs. Amateurs act when they feel motivated. Professionals stick to the schedule, whether they feel like it or not. The habit must come before the results. You can't wait until you feel like it. Insight number 5. Environment is the invisible hand. Every habit is context dependent. You act differently at home versus at work versus at a party. That's why it's easier to build new habits in new environments. There are no triggers pulling you back to old behaviors. When you can't change your environment, change your perspective. Reframe the cue. Insight number 6. The secret to self-control. People with high self-control aren't resisting temptation all day. They're just better at structuring their environment to avoid temptation in the first place. Make bad habits hard to do, and you won't need willpower. Insight number 7. How to recover. Quickly, you will slip up. The key is speed of recovery. Top performers aren't perfect. They just return to their habits faster after they miss. Never miss twice. That's the rule. Insight number 8. The power of the 1%. Rule. Small improvements aren't just additive. They're multiplicative. Getting 1% better every day compounds into incredible results over time. But getting 1% worse compounds into disaster. Choose your direction carefully. Let me ask you something. Have you ever started strong with a new habit, only to quit a few weeks later? Maybe you joined a gym in January and stopped going by February. Maybe you bought a journal to write in every day and now it's collecting dust. It's not your fault. You just didn't have the system. Imagine if you applied these principles. Imagine if you made your habits obvious by designing your environment, made them attractive by bundling them with things you love, made them easy by starting with 2 minutes, made them satisfying by tracking your progress. What would your life look like in 6 months? Picture this. You wake up and exercise is automatic. You don't think about it. You just do it. Reading is natural. You finish a book every week without effort. Healthy eating is easy. You don't crave junk food anymore. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you master atomic habits. But here's the truth. Knowledge without action is useless. You can watch this entire video, nod along, feel motivated, and then do nothing. Or you can pick one habit, just one, and commit to it for 30 days. What's it going to be? So here we are. We've covered the complete system. Let me recap the core principles one more time. Big idea. Small changes, consistently applied, lead to remarkable results. Get 1% better every day. The 4 laws for building good habits. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, Make it satisfying. The secret: focus on systems, not goals. Focus on identity, not outcomes. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Every action is a vote for the person you want to become. Here's what I want you to remember. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. The ice cube doesn't melt at 31 degrees, but all that heat is building up. At 32 degrees, transformation happens. You're building that heat right now. Every small action counts. Every tiny improvement matters. Don't quit in the valley of disappointment. That's where most people fail, right before the breakthrough. Keep going. Trust the process. Stack those 1% improvements. In 1 year, you won't recognize yourself. Now, you don't just know the summary, you have the tools to change your life. But remember, reading about habits doesn't change you. Doing habits changes you. So here's my challenge. Pick one habit right now, just one. Use the 2-minute rule. Start today. Track it for 30 days. Then come back and tell us how it went. Now let me ask you, which habit are you going to build first? And which bad habit are you finally going to break? Drop a comment below. Let's hold each other accountable. If this video helped you, smash that like button. Subscribe to Rise and Read for more life-changing book summaries. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Remember, you are your habits. Change your habits, change your life. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and become 1% better today. I'll see you in the next video. Keep rising, keep reading, keep building,